Hey there, how there, hello there. It's Jeff Cunner Diamond welcoming you to an ASG golf tournament. It's not just any tournament, it's an Olympic qualifier because this is an Olympic year. We're going to do an Olympic style tournament. Now, each decade, now I know that each tour in ASG has two decades. For example, the 80s, 90s is, of course, a tour. And we, so previous video, we did all the golfers from 1980s, like by national, for basically every country that is represented by one of these golfers gets a spot into the Olympic tournament. We don't know how many people around, but each country can only be represented by one individual. Not one individual for like all the decades, but one per decade. So we have 8 decades of players, so that means we'll have 8 Americans, primarily 8 Americans, so that and a lot of countries will bring their guys too. Canada, for example, my home country, we'll only have two because we have 5 golfers, but 3 are in the 1960s, bunched up in the 60s, and 2 are bunched up in the 2000s. So practically, um, that's what happened. So as you see here, there are 25 golfers. Now there will be qualifications for 4 countries. Now there are 13 total countries in the 90s golfers are representing. England, Zimbabwe, Spain, Wales, New Zealand, Northern Ireland, Paraguay, South Africa, and Italia have a golfer, and will be going to the Olympics. So England will have Nick Faldo, Zimbabwe will have Nick Price, Spain will have Jose Maria Alzabo, Wales will have William Woosnam, New Zealand with Frank Nobilo, Northern Ireland with David Faraday, yes, that's David Faraday, Carlos Franco for Paraguay, Fulton Alum for South Africa, and Constantino Rocca for Italia. Australia, US, Scotland, and Sweden will have representation. Sweden, I decided to have with Jesper Parnevik and Lauren Roberts. So it is, yeah, it's going to be 2 Swedes, not 3. So Parnevik and Roberts. Whoever the better Swede is, Parnevik or Roberts will get the Swedish spot. Scotland will have either Paul Laurie or Colin Montgomery. I don't know why Colin Montgomery is a B instead of an A, but yeah, Laurie or Montgomery, the top go further will represent Scotland. Australia has 3 guys, Elkington, Grady, and Norman. So the top Australian, and then the rest are Americanos fighting for the spot. Now, because the 80s have 9 countries, well, they have Spain, Germany, Australia, Scotland, Japan, US, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and England, one of those golfers, and the 90s have 13 golfers. We lose 22 golfers from that tour, and each tour has 144 golfers. So we'll be down to 122 people. So what will happen is the 80s 90s tournament in August is the match play competition. It will be not 128 golfers, it'll be 122 golfers. Well, we can only do 64. So 64 out of 122 golfers will qualify, and you cannot be in the Olympics, and you cannot be a champion. If you won the previous month, you're ineligible to compete because we want a new winner. And also, if you're in the Olympics, you're practically busy doing other shit. So we have all of that going. So here we go. So it's 4 rounds. The top 10, 20 and ties. Nope, that's the top 10 ties, sorry. The top 10 and ties will move on after round 2. Pinehurst was randomly selected to host this competition. It was Olympic qualifier. And no, it is not, of course, where the tournament will be. Is that at Le Golf National. Now, if that course does get randomly picked, then I'll pick a different one. So East Lake did the earlies. Great Hole, excuse me, did the 60s. The country club doing the 80s and the 90s Pinehurst. Bob Tway Eagles trying to get this going. Remember, it's the top 10 in ties. We'll move on to the weekend. I will see if any of the countries will have a definitive winner. Of course, the Americans, well, it's America. What do you expect? We'll have fight down to the minute. Payne Stewart almost botched it for the United States. He had like a 6-stroke lead with 9 holes left. And right now, John Daly, long John Daly, 4 under par. Justin Leonard and Davis Love III are chasing, but John Daly, the top American. Colin Montgomery leads Paul Laurie by stroke for Scotland. Greg Norman leads for Australia, and Jasper Parnevik leads for Sweden. So those would be the 4 representatives right now. To get in even par would be. Stricker Eagles, who goes to the top 10. Hey. And the cut line was even par, so the Americans, well, Scotland, Colin Montgomery, and Paul Laurie. Now we have a problem because there's no Australians and no Swedes that made the cut. So John Daly leads Justin Leonard by 2 with Davis Love III and David Duval also there. Colin Montgomery leads Paul Laurie by 2. It doesn't mean Montgomery wins. It means that those 2 will be going to the final round. There are the 4 Australians, Greg Norman and Wayne Grady, tied at +2. Steve Elkington +3. Ian Baker Finch +4. But we need to pick an Australian. And because, it's Greg freaking Norman, he gets the spot, the 90 spot for Wayne Grady. I feel bad for him, but no. Sweden, Jesper Parnevik beat Lauren Roberts by a stroke. So Parnevik will be the Swedish representative of the Olympics. Yeah, Montgomery and Laurie, well, John Daly has a 2-stroke lead to get to the American. Yeah, Steve Jones trying to get there, but John Daly looks like he'll be going to the Olympics. Now, I know what you're thinking is that the Olympic tournament, that's stupid. If you win, nothing happens. Actually, no, something does happen. Whoever wins the Olympic tournament, well, of course, everything will be by decade. Whoever wins the Olympic tournament next year, in next month in August, will get to usurp the August winners. So, for example, 80s, 90s, let's say Paul Azinger, he's not going to make it the cut for the Olympic team by my guess. Right now, John Daly +1. But look at it, 65 by Davis Love and a 66 by David Duval. So Davis Love the third leads Duval by a stroke. Montgomery leads Laurie by 8. There is no freaking way. By 8 strokes. So I'm going to give the mercy rule, and Monty will be the Scottish champion. Not Laurie, sorry. But yeah, Paul Azinger. For example, if Paul Azinger does pull one out of the bag, he wins the 80s, 90s match play. And say and let's say David Graham for Australia, because for the 80s. Let's say Greg Norman. If Greg Norman were to win the tournament, then Norman would actually overtake Azinger, get the spot to Augusta, because that's what each tournament is, the winner. However, Azinger would not be with a penalty. Azinger would just be second and have that second chance qualifier. And then whoever ends up being the loser to Azinger would fall to third and not get a top 2 finish. Well, regardless of that, so final round, we are going to do the final pairing of Love the Third and Duval. Colin Montgomery, as I said, 8 strokes ahead of Laurie. I'm going to call it and put Monty as the Scottish representative at the championship. And of course, we're doing horizontal as we always do, as we love to do. First one goes back. For 380 for 327, 71 to the pin. Duval, whoa, Wiregrass. He's in the Wiregrass. Remember, Pinehurst gave us Wiregrass, hard pan sand, a normal bunker, fairway, rough, green. What else? Wiregrass. I don't know what other settings developers are. Love with a simple pitch. That'll work. Developer birdie. Nope, he's off by 4. Davis Love comes to 3. Love it. That's the American representation is the only one we're going to be watching out for. Stuff like that in the fairway. Oh yeah, big fairway. I just remembered that's also another lie. Not lie as in a fib, but lie as in a golf lie. Nope. There's the big fairway. But the problem is you can't tell what a fake fairway is from a normal shot. Duval with a blunder there, and he's going to be 18 feet away. Love, don't set up a good pit. A power putt for par. Par? Oh, yo! He's just off by a foot. Duval will get a birdie. Davis beats the shot. Overshoots by 6 feet. Shot. Oh, and he missed. He missed. So Davis left the third, still leads by a stroke over Duval. I know Mountain Team is going to win a tournament, but we know Mountain is the Scottish representative. This is just for Olympic qualifier. You don't win the tournament. Is Duval. Love. For birdie. Overshot by 3 feet. Duval. So both these guys, well, they're on the same hole, so par 5. Whoa, wow. Great escape by Duval because that was headed for a bunker. Davis Love gets that. He's on the fairway, but it's a faked fairway, which you can't freaking tell from either. But the shot comes. He's down by Duval. He's 39 feet away, but he is right there. Into the wiregrass. Into the what? All right. Now, if you're Duval, do you putt or do you lag? Lag. And he's allowed to lag? Yes, he is. He will lag. Duval will take the outright lead for now. Now we have a light wind coming in. Onto the 5th. Pin, 7 shots. This is par 4, remember. He's to the front, and that's to the back. Michael. But at least he's putting. Not the best putt in the world. Here's the ball. Nope, he missed. But a putt. So they're still tied. Still have a playoff. He missed his chance. Whoa, that's bunker. It's not a deep bunker, but it's a bunker moving up. Davis is like, damn it, I'm not that close. He is 8 feet away. For par. So nuts. Davis and he fails. Pinehurst is not an easy course by any technique. Pinehurst actually hosted the U.S. Open Styles. U.S. Open Styles? I think so, right? I think it's U.S. Open Styles, right? Look at my, yeah, Pinehurst hosted the June major. In June, so these guys haven't actually. One is into Trny, and then they go to Pinehurst. For Boyd. Oh, she my. That trip to France. And as I said, you win the tournament, you go to Augusta, unless you win the tournament otherwise. because, well, let me look at the 80s, 90s, or the early 60s. Let's see. Dago, Ferguson, Braid, Farrell, Gardner. None of the golfers. Oh well, Palmer. Right? Well, not even Palmer. Gene Lidler won the '60s thing with Palmer. So none of the six early in '60s golfers have like who won a tournament the first 6 months are going to the Olympics. So well, the July winner could be any one of them. It could be old Tom Morris. It could be Bobby Jones. It could be Roberto Di Fernando or even Peter Ellis. But yeah, that's weird. Looking at the runners ups, Bobby Jones was a runner up in March. He's going to the Olympics as one of the representatives, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, the 80s, 90s, as you say, Colin Montgomery, who won in January, he's going to the Olympics. Jim Gallagher is not going to the Olympics. David DePaul is challenging to go to the Olympics. He won in March. Dan Forsman is not going to the Olympics. Nick Price will be going to the Olympics for Zimbabwe, so that's great. Marco Capecchia will not be there. And Tom Watson is not going to the Olympics. That's Payne Stewart. So yeah, so the 80s, 90s will lose two tournament winners going to the Olympics. Duvall does that. Well, Duvall is trying to do what the other guys are. Look out, that's way left. Ooh, that's not good. He's in the wiregrass. Yeah, he's got a terrible angle. He's got a long putt. 8.5 feet. Not that bad. Duvall? Go nuts. He'll have to come. Duvall, 5. He's going to run back at Duvall. Up and over. Love. Have to flip it up. I don't know. 13. The ball for birdie. I was only 2 feet away. That's smart because that's love. And the makes the shot. The guy would have had a 2-stroke lead heading into the final 9 holes. But the ball with a great Davis did a great job. The ball from the second shot. Aye, bunks. Davis love the third. Okay. David Duvall. Third shot. It's a par. Oh, it's a par 5. Oh, this is the third shot on the par 5. Well, that would be 30. It was so nuts. He missed. The ball has a really chance. It's a great. What is the ball? It's going to. All right. Remove because the Anderson is going to be. Up it over. The ball does that for birdie. Nope. I am at the ball 1. Look out, that's way left into the pine straw. The ball has a chance to capitalize. He's in the wiregrass. Default. Robert. Oy, El Park. For par. Nope, he bogs. Back to 2. The ball is moving back to 2 with 6 holes to go. Duvall, nicely done, nicely done. Oh, wow, that's pretty reachable. 29, so he's got a short flip shot away. Davis Love to the right-hand side, terrible shot. And he really a lot of people are like, what about Tiger and Phil? Like Woods and Mickelson? Well, they're in the 2000 set, so that means they haven't studied yet. Just nice and easy, nice and easy. Oh, but the speed is not helping him. Yep, Davis will be 3 feet away. Duvall. Nope. But he's on 2 feet away. Duvall's up by 2. Well, Montgomery's at -6. It doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean anything. Colin is going to the Olympics as the Scottish representative as is. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, you don't get any prize money or consideration and all that for winning the Olympic qualifier because that's that not everyone has had a chance to go into the tournament. That's way off. Oh, Davis will have 3 times. Especially if now 3 strokes ahead. Well, 4 strokes ahead. All Duvall technically has to do is par. And he'll be going to the Olympics from the 90s. Duvall. Davis. Now that is a 5 shot. And I saw one. Par. Go nuts. And Duvall also Duvall technically has a 3 for America. Look at the leaders. Yep, he's 4 strokes ahead of Davis Silva third. John Daly is next with even par, so it's practically Duvall's turning the lead. Now, Davis Silva third, I think, is starting to realize his dreams in the Olympics are up in smoke. Yeah. Davis will put. He doesn't really care. Duvall will have to really fuck it. He's 8 to -3. Yeah, with 2 holes left, I think it's safe to say David Duvall is going to be the American representative. Yep, he's the American representative. There is no fucking way. With 2 holes left, he's gonna fuck up. Yep. So Duvall, Davis left the third. If he had even par at Pinehurst, he would have tied Duvall. But yeah, Duvall put up a great number, 8 under par. So David Duvall will be the American representative. Colin Montgomery is the Scottish representative. Greg Norman, the Australian, and Jesper Parnevik, the Swedish representative. Those guys will not be in the match play thing coming up in August. So they'll be ready for the Olympics and trying to give America and Scotland maybe some championships. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.